What's up, guys? I'm Shadow Weref, and today I'm giving my opinion on Jeff the Killer. Okay, a lot of back and forth with this guy. Fact and fiction to me, I don't really like to decipher because then it becomes a question of religion and your own power and yada yada yada. So, alright, Jeff the Killer. The story is about the original. I like the original. A lot of people disagree. Well, it had shitty grammar compared to Betty Hoover's. Hey, guys, I'm Jeff. I mean, I love it, but at the same time, I don't think Jeff was some fat emo guy. He was a 13-year-old scrawny kid who was kind of wow after the fight. So, can't remember. I think David Neer and Jack Harlequin and all of them had the same reputations. But yeah, Jeff basically was a 13-year-old. Well, I'm guessing 13-year-old to 14-year-old kid who had an older or younger. It's debated, but I still say it's older brother named Lou. And during that time, it was moving to a new town. There were several problems. For one, they lived in a crumhole apartment. Dad was always working, and this is me assuming because you never hear much from the father, and you do occasionally hear from the mother. I think you only hear from the father like twice in the story, but anyways, Jeff eventually sticks up when him and his brother are getting robbed, and the police take his brother to jail because he falsely confesses, and Jeff, after assaulting the bullies, started to have sick feelings towards hurting and stabbing, and he saw this figure and this is just, now look, I'm not saying this, but I know he heard the voice in his head, but in one of the comics, they say he actually saw the figure, which was this long, black, wide, sharp-toothed, smiled guy saying, "Let me kill them." But anyways, as Jeff basically fought at a kid's party, Billy or whatever, he was having fun, and Randy jumped the fence, and they got in a fight. Two kids pulled guns, and it became very, very awkward. So, parents couldn't jump in. So after that, the fighting broke out, and Jeff eventually kind of let himself loose. He punched Randy in the throat until Randy stopped breathing. Troy and can't remember the other guy's name. Troy and something else. Troy and Adam? No. Well, they were shooting. And these are kids now. These are like 13, 14-year-old kids. Most likely got the guns from some crazy hunting lunatic dad, even though it never explained. So I'm not surprised where they would get, or maybe their dad's a cop. I'm not surprised they'd have two little pistols. Not uncommon. Hell, I can literally go to my cousin's right now and grab 8 of them. It's not that hard to get a pistol, at least not how bad everyone thinks, unless you're broke, or unless you're not evil or a cop or a military or a gun fanatic. We'll get not way off topic. So, in my opinion, one of the bullets did graze Jeff because they explained that he's kind of covered in blood and dirty and he has rips and stuff. And I think if I'm right, he's in, his typical white hoodie and black bands, which in my opinion is a badass outfit. Well, I remember how he killed one of them, beat him with the shower rack, and then the last one, after getting bleach spilled on him, and alcohol, they said you're covered in bleach and alcohol. While I have seen skin cases, I'm sort of thinking more or less that he didn't light him on fire. I feel like that wouldn't really have worked. And I was tweaking the story a bit, but I think the bleach could have actually made his skin white, but I don't think it was like alcohol as in like, beer. I always thought it was like some type of other chemical. So yeah, the fire pretty much got him good, but they eventually extinguished it with the help of Jane Arkansas, aka Jane the Killer, who brought a fire extinguisher. And Jeff, basically his hair and eyes were singed black from the ashes that have to, get decrusted from his face, and the color of the hair darkened because of how greasy the crispy ashes were from his hair. So then his lips were bright red, because that's what happens when human skin meets hot. It turns bright red. And his skin was pale white from the bleach. So in my opinion, that actually does sort of make sense. I'm not going to go into too much detail. So after that, he wakes up. The doctors have him on painkillers and stuff, and he wakes up and looks in the mirror with his family, and I think in one of the videos they made about him, I can't remember what he actually said. I think he's like, "This face goes perfectly with me," or "How can they fix what's already perfect?" See, then he started to develop a mindset about how shitty the world was. That, Randy and all those other kids probably had a shit life growing up. So, more than likely, he eventually got the thought into his head that not only was he satisfying his hunger for blood, but hell, he's giving you a free ticket to where you deserve to be. If he kills you and you go to heaven, you're a good person. If you go to hell, you're like him. Or worse, or half and half. But really, I think Jeff's reasoning is nothing else but putting people to sleep. It doesn't matter where they go. It doesn't matter what happens. His job is to put them to sleep. That's excessively simple. And after that thought gets into his head, he goes on to burn or cut, I can't remember, his eyelids, which the wide open eyes cause black rings from the former rash, which were kind of already outlining his eyes like mascara. Then finally, so he could smile forever while looking at his new face, he cut. I'm not talking about, took the end of his mouth and cut it. No, he actually stuck it in the side of his cheek and just slashed, kind of, not so much ripped, but kind of carved up into a straight up Cheshire grin smile. Like a, what do they call it? Chinese torture. Chelsea grin. So, and he eventually goes so crazy that first he kills his mom and his dad because his mom lied because she told him he was beautiful, and then she's like, "Honey, get the gun." Just like, "Fuck you." Freaking gutted him. Sorry, I was getting like it's chilly out here. But not only did he gut his parents, he went to his brother's room and slashed his face, and then told him to sleep and stabbed him in the chest. Lou was found alive with several lacerations. In that case, became homicidal Lou, in my opinion. Stitched up smiles or frown, whichever you prefer, sort of just stitches along the side of the mouth, stitches over the eye, stitches all over the body, but he still had light brown hair and green eyes and is usually pale complexion. So Jeff pretty much has done so much. I mean, I can't get to all of it because this video would run too long. But let's see. The common belief is that Jeff is OP, overpowered. He's possibly at the same level as Slender in them. Eventually, in a last story, in Betty Kruger's version, he joins with Zalgo, which was bullshit in my opinion, because I always liked the Slender and Jeff matchup. So after time, Jeff eventually joined up with Slender after a third fight. Because the first fight, Jeff was just interested and Slender didn't care too much. Their second fight, Jeff was more preoccupied with killing his found out brother Jane and Laughing Jack. And after that, during a close to a third fight, Jeff eventually decided that Slender Man could help him to kill forever. And the belief is he's this big, immortal, super fast, super strong psychopath now. I mean, come on, look at Masky and Hoodie. There's no way they are normal humans. Same with Toby. freaking don't try and tell me Slender. And that's the thing. A lot of people refer to this, and I agree with this. Slender is like, Jeff to Slender is like apprentice to master. He wants Jeff to eventually lead a pasta group of his own. Jeff's best friends, Eyeless Jack and Laughing Jack, without doubt. If you ask and Ben. And, Laughing Jack, both of them are smiley, both of them are crazy about killing, and can't really see why he's best friends with Ben. I'm most likely guessing it's because Jeff, in several stories, fan fictions, and even actually stuff posted about him on creepypasta sometimes, they do say that Jeff had a slim interest in like videos and video games and stuff, which I always thought was kind of cool. Eyeless Jack, it's because they both love of smaller blades, unlike a lot of them. Like you have Eyeless Jack using a scalpel, Jeff with his kitchen knife, and they both kind of fight the same, and they both sneak through windows and into bathrooms and stuff, even though Eyeless Jack is a bit more quiet and calm about it. But yeah, so overall pasta rating of not just the story, like everything combined, to your Jeff the Killer. Also, the story kind of makes him look different in several. What I believe is because a lot of people draw him like this. It's that his eyes kind of went from being, slightly, circular, or slightly like oval, and had the kind of curvy mouth. I think the best example, watch Slenderman vs. Jeff the Killer Light 'Em Up by Fall Out Boy. YouTubers, let me know if I'm pronouncing this right, Cluster Frack Industries, and it was so amazing. And I think that actually happened, maybe not in the way described, but Jeff's literally gotten so happy about his killing, his eyes are like circles now, just wide open. He's like all happy, sort of like mine are now, except like he doesn't have eyebrows, and his eyelids are gone. So like, and then his smile kind of went from being curvy because he literally probably was laughing so much that his jaw unhinged and probably ripped open, like right below the teeth line. So, which is one reason Jane versus Jeff the Killer, you see his like gums and stuff, but I think it's a little bit lower than that. So overall character rating, I'm giving Jeff the Killer the seal of approval, 10 out of freaking. It's just awesome. It's just the fact that you got, he has like Joker elements, which made it great for me. Actually, you know what? No, I have to give him a 9 out of 10 for one thing, and that's the fact that for some reason, I honestly think that the only reason I'll give him a 9 out of 10 at all is because there is people who believe he kind of doubted himself as a killer, which in my opinion is, if he ever doubts himself, it's kind of a bitch move. Actually, no, 10 out of 10, because I think all imposters did that. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for Jeff, without doubt. And there's a lot of creepypastas that give a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. And that's pretty much, on the same level with Jason and all them. But a lot of people have asked me this, and why would I give Jeff 10 out of 10? Like I said, Joker elements, like beyond Joker, straight up Chinese torture method grin, wide struck eyes, and a really perfect appearance. Like, unlike a lot of people would want, it's even with the idea that it's a Joker smile, he's not freaking clownish. He's really urban, with freaking Converse sneakers, black dress pants, and a white hoodie. And killing with kitchen knives is a total Myers move, as I call it, which I think is just amazing. So yeah, Jeff the Killer, 10 out of 10. So, from me to you, the full moon. You look tired, so go to
sleep.